Now let's listen to the better minds. Alan Dershowitz. He was on Trump's defense team for his first impeachment trial. He's the author of Get Trump. Also, former federal prosecutor did these kinds of cases, Renato Mariotti. And Florida special prosecutor Dave Aronberg. Why? Knows this kind of litigation, knows Florida, where Trump got a huge break in his judge today, which is Judge Cannon, the same one who made the kooky rulings for him the last time. But first, Alan Dershowitz cautioned me to have caution and to wait. We have waited. There's more in this indictment than they needed to put in there. What do you make of it?
Well, this is a much stronger indictment than many people anticipated. It's clearly the strongest indictment that Donald Trump ever faced. And the most important and the most difficult part of the indictment for Trump are two paragraphs, paragraph 34 and paragraph 35. In paragraph 34, there is a tape recording, so you don't have to worry about lawyers' credibility or flip witnesses. His own voice is saying, "See, as president, I could have declassified it," holding up a paper. Now I can't, but this is still a secret. That may not be a smoking gun, but it's a gun, and it's a very important piece of evidence, and it's enough to convict based on this terrible espionage law, which is broad and vague and never should have been enacted. Every liberal for the last 100 years has opposed it. Now they're applauding it because it's being used against Trump. But there's enough in that one statement to convict him of knowingly possessing unauthorized classified material. The fact that the classified material may have been about a plan to attack Iran is not technically relevant under the statute, but if the judge lets that in, it will obviously be deeply prejudicial to the jury. So Donald Trump has a lot to worry about. This indictment is much stronger, this part of it particularly, because it doesn't require witnesses. And there's no argument that lawyer-client privilege was violated. This is a clean issue. And if I were the prosecutor, I would have had a much, much narrower indictment focusing on that and less on the 37 repetitious counts of possessing this and possessing that. I think juries want to hear clear evidence, and there's good, strong evidence here, and he has to rebut it. The burden has shifted to him to explain those statements.
All right. Mariotti, you bat cleanup because you did these cases on the federal level. Dave, of course, Dershowitz is right about the legal analysis of it being clean, meaning you can't attack the witness the same way because it's his mouth. However, the most damning stuff in the indictment, in my opinion, and please, as you guys always do, feel free to shoot it down, is he absolutely obstructed on the basis of what they say they have from his attorney and his aide. I mean, it is, I would even pass one of Dershowitz classes, giving the answer for obstruction of justice. He's asking to pretend he doesn't have the documents. He's asking to make them go away. I mean, what else do you need for obstruction?
Yeah, you're right, Chris. It's good to be with you, Renato, and Professor Dershowitz, who taught me everything I know about criminal law, class of '96. So great to be with you all.
Thank you.
Chris, I actually thought the most powerful part was the part about Hillary Clinton, because how ironic, where this is why he got elected. He ran against Hillary Clinton and her emails, and he said on that debate stage that if I were in charge, you'd be in jail. Well, he's now telling his lawyer to be like Hillary Clinton's lawyer and delete all the stuff that's incriminating him. I mean, it is so ironic. So look, what this indictment shows in 38 counts is that Trump was involved in every step of this. He was the one who helped pack the boxes. He stored the boxes. He directed the movement of the boxes. He tried to hide the boxes, not just from the government, but from his own attorney. And he disseminated the information within the boxes in violation of the Espionage Act. Espionage, obstruction, lying, they got him on all that stuff.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.